My buddy Wally decided he was going to help me with this video. Say hi, buddy. Wally's a handsome dude. Wally turns 15 next month. Don't you, buddy? You love reading Dragon magazine. Wally. There's my buddy. All right, back to the regularly scheduled video. Welcome back to page 121. This is my first video back in a little while. I'm not promising to be back on a full schedule, but I can at least do videos like this. The videos may be a little simpler than normal for the next, I don't know how long. I'm still recovering. I want to thank everybody who wished me well, and I'm not promising to go back to a full schedule yet. I'm just going to see how this goes. And everybody that's worried that I'm not going to complete the Traveler Great Rift Traveler Week, I will. It just won't be right now because that's a little beyond me at the moment. So today we're going to take a look at Dragon Magazine number 90, brought to us in October 1984, 40 years ago. This excellent issue of Dragon was out, and I'm pretty excited about going through it. So this issue features adventures in Asgard, the Incantatrix NPC, and superhero game stories. The Adventures in Asgard was really important to our campaign. We happened to be running a kind of an Asgard-based campaign when this issue came out, so I was able to use a lot from this. So was my wife. I'll go into that as I get to that article. Also, the Incantatrix, we'll talk about her. So first thing we see, the flap of leather wings, a chorus of reptilian grunts. Christmas arrives at Relpartha. Oh yes, I used to love getting lead figures for Christmas. Got them a lot. And Relpartha, let's see if I have any of these. No, I don't think I do. No, I don't think I do. Rollmaster returns, Arms Law and Claw Law with Spell Law from Iron Crown Enterprises. ICE. Played that a little bit. One of the DMs I was under had it and ran it for us. It was interesting. A lot of tables. So October 1984, Azerhammer. An AD&D game adventure is the first thing featured. Nice editorial by Kim Moen. Out on a Limb. Letters from the readers. Oh, one thing before I get too far. I love this cover. I love that harpy attacking the ship as the ship flounders in the rocks. That's just a really good cover. Anyway, so we've got the rest of the letters to the editor, and then the Complete Strategist, a series of a group of gaming stores in the East, and I'm given to understand a couple of them are still in operation. Your best figures deserve the best paint. Fantasy Lords paint set. Grenadier Models Incorporated. These were really nice paints. We used a lot of these. This out of Springfield, Pennsylvania. We used a lot of these back in the day. My wife and I used to just kind of hang around and paint figures sometimes. And then the forum, opinions and observations. And then we get Cast Your Own Figure from the Duncan Company in Calvert, Texas. I always wanted to do that, but I never did. Change the course of history in just a few short hours. Axis and Allies. A buddy of mine had Axis and Allies. We played with it a little bit. I don't really remember much about it. He ran everything for us. The Enchanting Incantatrix, a spell-shielding, spell-stealing NPC class. Yes, I did allow this one as a player character class at my table. My wife played one. Named her Kaylee. Interesting, but it turns out that when the rubber meets the road, this isn't a great character class for adventuring. It's an NPC class, I get that, but we went ahead and adapted it for player characters, and it turned out that there wasn't all that much. Basically, if a spell didn't get cast at her, she couldn't really do much. It's an interesting character class, and I love it as an NPC, but it didn't work too great as a player character. Some new spells for the class, though. Solve the mystery and win $10,000 in rewards. The Queen's Park Affair for Sherlock Holmes Consulting Detective. And this was from Sleuth Publications in San Francisco, California. And Turn Dragon Problems into Child's Play. Game Master's Guide. Nichols Service, Columbus, Georgia. That's interesting. And finishing out the Incantatrix, actually she's still going. We have Bushido from Fantasy Games Unlimited. Play as a samurai. They were out of Roslyn, New York. And Illuminati, the fast, exciting play-by-mail from Steve Jackson Games. The Adventure Systems, Steve Jackson Games. And they were out of Texas, if I'm not mistaken. Houston, Texas. Weapons and Armor, Weapons and Castles, Weapons and Assassins. These are books from Palladium. Palladium jumping in out of Detroit, Michigan. Jumping into the D&D craze in 84. October of 84, D&D was still going strong. It had taken a bit of a downturn in 83, but there was still a lot of D&D to be had. I was still in that club I was a member of. Ran a Valpurgis in October of 84. Had a lot of fun with it. Finishing out the Incantatrix, we have Jorun from Sky Realms Publishing out of San Francisco, California. Go beyond Middle Earth to a world rich in creatures, cultures, and adventure. Right on. Got a subject about an article? Send us a letter here at Lake Geneva. Adventure into the unknown with Chill role-playing game from Pace Sitter, Delvin, Wisconsin. I never played Chill. I saw it on the shelves, but I never played it. Anybody who did play it, let me know. How was it? Hold That Person, the definitive list of charmable humanoids. This was really valuable. This helped us a lot in our game because we had the Monster Manual, of course, but then Fiend Folio came out. So there's a lot of arguing about if something could be charmed or held based on the humanoids. And we mostly made our own rulings, and we did use this list to help us out. That's it for Gary Gygax. And then Experience the Many Worlds of Lords of Creation, the Avalon Hill Game Company out of Baltimore, Maryland. Gen Con show was a winner. A little review of Gen Con. Of course they're going to say it was a winner. I was at Gen Con in 1984. It was a lot of fun. Shogun. You Can Be Shogun. Distributed by the Armory. World Gamers Guide. We're proud of the fact that people who read Dragon Magazine live in countries around the world. Something that you can get issues of the Dragon if you're not in the United States, I guess. James Bond 007, role-playing in Her Majesty's Secret Service from Victory Games. Saw this a lot. Had a buddy who was really, really into Bond. He always talked about buying it, but he never did. I had told him I wasn't going to buy it. I had Top Secret, and if he wanted to play Bond, I'd let him play Bond in Top Secret, which he did. But he wanted to play the James Bond game, but he never did. So Victory Games out of New York, New York. If anybody played this one, let me know how it was. Bats That Do More Than Bite. 6 species from Elminster's latest lecture. I always like getting creatures, especially themed creatures, when we got one particular type of creature, in this case bats. I always like that. Ed Greenwood wrote a good article. Continuing on the bat article. And then we have Raffam Company. For Canadians only, Rael Partha Fantasy. And they used to bring them down here. I don't have any of these guys. Feudal Lords, the original medieval play-by-mail game of economic development. From Graph Simulations out of St. Clair Shores, Michigan. Gods of the Sul Pantheon. Phaeton of the Forest, Zerbo, and Osprey of the Sea by Len Lakofka. I like these gods articles. These were a lot of fun. I looked at a bunch of them a few years ago. I should pick up that series one of these days. Because sometimes it's more fun to play the bad guys. Thieves Guild. Completely revised 2nd edition out of Game Lords from Gaithersburg, Maryland. I did play a little Thieves Guild. We rolled it in a little bit into a campaign. It was interesting. I read some of the Thieves Lord stuff. Honestly, it was a little grim for me. Continuing on the gods. When it comes to dungeon design, we think we have a lot to offer. White Dwarf out of Games Workshop, being distributed in Columbia, Maryland, but of course from England. And White Dwarf at the time was quite the resource. Hard to come by here. I didn't see a ton of White Dwarfs around here. If I did, I didn't buy them. I have 2 or 3 of the old issues. Continuing out our deities article, we get the Earthwood game, Dawn of the Ancients, Cunning, Strategy, Diplomacy, Deceit. This is from Earthwood Games, P.O. Box out of Miami, Florida. Don't know that one. Dungeons & Dragons, Set 3, Companion Rules, The Creation of Kingdoms Awaits. Yes, this is the parallel Dungeons & Dragons, that was out at the same time, releasing products at the same time as AD&D, virtually compatible. I had a few of the modules. I like AD&D better. That's just me. Playing the political game, a change of pace for AD&D game adventuring. The politics in AD&D can be a blast. I've done whole games of AD&D where nobody threw a d20 for combat at all. And it was all just political wrangling and machinations. It was a lot of fun. I kind of did a player versus player as different aspects of a political spectrum in Greyhawk. It was pretty interesting. Duel Masters, exciting new play-by-mail from Reality Simulations out of Tempe, Arizona. Play-by-mails were still really big into the mid-'80s. Continuing on, our political adventures, walls, walls, walls. Dungeon walls. Dungeon walls that are realistic and easy to assemble. This is when we were starting to get the first of the true 3D stuff for dungeons. This was from Advanced Graphics in Orlando, Florida. I did not have these guys. I did have some cheapo plastic ones that did not hold up well at all. Not from these guys, from a different company. I got those at Gen Con. I don't remember who made them. Castle Creations, 5 new dragons. Each classic in style and detail. Oh, these are neat. Oriental dragon, land dragon, sea dragon, fire drake, and a wyvern. And not badly priced. From Castle Creations out of Columbus, Ohio. DC Heroes, Superpowers, and the new Teen Titans. Easy to learn, fun to play. Champions kind of opened the door. Marvel superheroes came along, so DC was not far behind. This is from Mayfair Games out of Chicago. The Armory paints. And as always, I'll take a look and see who was in my area that sold Armory paints. Games Plus, of course, Mount Prospect, they're still there. Pegasus Hobbies in Waukegan, I was never up there. Okay, going to the next article. Plain Facts on Gladsheim, What It's Like in the Land of the Norse Gods by Roger E. Moore. This article really shaped our game for about 2 years. We really did a lot of stuff. We had some fun playing in Asgard. My campaign was kind of shifting there anyway, and then all of a sudden we had this article and all this information on Asgard, and I actually put us in the Land of the Gods for a little while. My wife actually ran a game in there with a great encounter. We were new to Asgard. We had just gotten there, and we saw a little girl being attacked by a huge bear. The little girl was screaming, and so we jumped in and we fought the bear. And it was a tough fight, but we eventually defeated it, to which the little girl screamed in horror, "You killed Fluffy!" My wife reminding us that we were in Asgard, and things are tougher there. The kids have live bears that are their pets, so the players had to make restitution, and I believe they were able to get Fluffy resurrected by one of the nobles in the area. I don't remember the exact detail, but we did get him resurrected, so that was a good joke my wife played on us, though. She was always good for something like that in a D&D game. So continuing on this excellent article. Oh, this was such a good article. We have Track Commander, role-playing a tank crew. RPG Incorporated at Alvin, Texas. And then Campaign Secrets, Game Grid Sheets, the original and largest. And this is Indicia Associates out of Oakland, California. Right for a free brochure. And then we have Lands of Adventure from Fantasy Games Unlimited. These are the folks that gave us Space Opera, among many other games. How the various spells work in Asgard, called out here, right here. It continues on page 54, but we break now for an AD&D game adventure for high-level characters. Azerhammer. So you're in this one by Roger Moore. And it's a good high-level adventure. I don't think I ever ran it. I think I swiped a couple of characters out of it. But I did read it. It was good. I don't know why I didn't run it. I think my campaign that I had in Asgard had kind of run its course by the time I would have gotten around to this. And then finishing that out, we got a nice map of Asgard. This was incredibly useful in my campaign. And then we've taken the dice out of the fight. Nova Game Designs out of Manchester, Connecticut. This is a book versus book kind of thing. You see them on the shelves. I never bought them. Finishing out Asgard. I love when we got a nice long Roger Moore offering. Witch Lord and Liege Lord, a breakthrough in fantasy role gaming. You can enjoy the magic of fantasy role gaming. And this was from Litrix 84 out of Victoria, British Columbia. Okay, continuing out the Asgard article, which is quite long. I did take a lot out of this actual article. Wow. Daredevils Have Adventures, and this is from Daredevils and from Fantasy Games Unlimited. The indie posters sold only at Sears. Remember Sears? Available in the most larger Sears retail stores and Sears 1984 Christmas catalog. Original art by Larry Elmore. I always loved this picture. I remember going to Sears and finding various D&D things all the way through the 90s. Sears by Us even actually had a decent-sized space for a smallish comic book store right in the heart of the store itself in the late 90s. Sears is trying anything to stay alive. Finishing out the article for Asgard, we go to the Dragonlance, the epic quest, Live the Adventure. Dragons out of the dark past threaten the world of Kryn. Yep, I got into Dragonlance when it came out. What played in it, was DM'd in it by one of our guys for almost a year. Interesting. I liked Greyhawk better. The magic was a little light in Dragonlance, especially if you wanted to play a cleric. Good luck. Horribly simple to learn. Chill will leave you shivering for more. A review of Chill. Never played Chill. Label your letter. If you label your letter, they can tell who sent it. The Amulet Collection, out of Troy, Michigan, and these are actual size, people. Actual size. Silver Dawn, $5,000 quest tournament, play by mail, out of Charlotte, North Carolina. Are you missing a Dragon magazine in your lair? Here's an issue to buy, or a chance to buy some back issues. I never did that. We had enough hobby stores around that I was able to grab anything I might have missed, or even the Dragons before I started actually buying them. I was able to run a backlog, about 8 issues. If adventure has a game, it must be Indiana Jones from TSR at the time, up there in Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. Unleash the power of your imagination. Oh, look at all the TSR offerings. And who sells them? Let's see. Who had them in Illinois? Illinois. Wow. Big list in Illinois. Holy cow. Oh, Crocs and Montanos. Yeah, that's right. I forgot. We used to get them in Crocs and Montanos. I picked up a lot of stuff there. Games Plus again. Graham Cracker Comics. They're still around. Got about 12 or 13 stores now. Crocs and Montanos. Pat's Hobbies and Crafts in Oak Lawn. Just went by their old store about 2 weeks ago. The store's still there. They're long gone, unfortunately. Crocs and Montanos in Orland Park. That's the one I used to go to. I miss Crocs and Montanos. I'm sure I'm not alone in that. Windmill Hobbies out of Geneva, Illinois. Where do you look to find the hottest Christmas gift ideas from Rel Partha in a Rel Partha box? Which guy did I get? I got this guy for Christmas that year. Jerry, my then girlfriend, now wife, picked it up for me. It was $8, I want to say. Let's see, Mystic Masters was $8. Yep. Now we come to the Aries science fiction gaming section. I loved the Aries section. It was a great addition to Dragon, in my opinion. It was treated as its own little separate magazine with its own table of content and letter or editorial for you, and then skills for the super agent skill packages in the Champions game. There you go. I like skill packages. Those are pretty nice. Alien Minds and Traveler. Aliens aren't just people in funny suits, or as we always call them in Star Trek, head aliens. From Game Designers Workshop. I loved how they breathed life into their alien races and are still doing it. These are excellent offerings they had in the mid-'80s, but then we have Mongoose 2nd edition now, which is still doing a great job with the alien races. You played the rest, now play the best. Heroes Unlimited by Palladium Books out of Detroit, Michigan. A Super World game expanded. New powers, advantages, and handicaps. Okay. Super World. Didn't play that one. Space Opera. Did play some Space Opera from Fantasy Flight Games out of Roslyn, New York. I liked Space Opera. Finishing out the article, we go to It's Clobberin' Time. Marvel Superheroes role-playing game. Played that a little bit. We went back to Champions, unfortunately. The mega corporations of the frontier. Star Frontiers game background. I love Star Frontiers articles that flesh out more of the universe, as this one did. I love megacorps too. Star questions, question and answers on Gamma World Gaming. Very useful. Finishing out the Q&A. Riddle of the Ring. Fellowship Games has sold its unique design for this game to Iron Crown Enterprises. And from Fellowship Games at Columbia, South Carolina. Gen Con 17 Game Fair Report. Pretty neat. Villains and Vigilantes from Fantasy Games Unlimited. I did start out with my superhero life playing V&V in the original version from 79, I want to say. We played that for a little bit, and then Champions came along in 82, I want to say, is when I got it. I think it came out in 81, but I didn't get it till 82. More than just role-playing, the complete fantasy series, complete Alchemist, complete Spellcaster, etc. from Bard Games out of Greenwich, Connecticut. Science fiction gaming calendar. Okay, where can we go if we have our time machine all geared up and ready to go? Somebody call Doctor Who. You can go to all these. Diamond Dice Incorporated out of Park Ridge, Illinois. Gamer's Guide. So Gamer's Guide offers a wide selection of ads and notices specifically about this growing hobby. So there you go. Continuing on the Great Gamer's Guide, the Dragon Ball. And I saw a few of those in use, the random number selectors. And finishing out the forum, index to advertisers. If you want to know where the ads were, you can find it there. Wormy! Gotta love Wormy. Wormy is always good for 2 or 3 pages. There we go, 3 pages. Dragon Mirth. I always love Dragon Mirth. Sometimes would flip to the end just to read those. Snarf Quest by Larry Elmore. Finishing out Snarf Quest, we come to Paranoia, a role-playing game of darkly humorous future. Played that a time or two. It was interesting. Right now, Mongoose has put out a new version of Paranoia. And about a year ago, I asked my players if they were interested in getting involved, and they said they weren't terribly interested, so I didn't end up buying it. So let me know what kind of fun you're having with Paranoia. From West End Games, New York at the time, but Mongoose has a current version out right now. And then we have the Middle-earth role-playing system, MERPS, and that is Iron Crown Enterprises out of Charlottesville, Virginia. So there you go. That's issue 90, a pivotal issue for me. Lots of stuff in here that I use. The gods, the adventuring in Asgard, the Incantatrix. There's a bunch of stuff in here, even the Q&A from Gamma World. It's ended up being a very pivotal issue for me. So let me know what you think. Did you enjoy this particular issue of The Dragon? I'm glad I'm back. I'm hoping to be able to do my schedule of 5 a week, but I can't promise anything yet. I have to see how this goes. So that's all I've got today. I want to thank everybody again for their patience while I was out and the well wishes. I really appreciated it. And so did my family. And that's all I've got today on page 121. Thank you for your time. Thanks for watching. Please take a look at the Patreon, see if you can help me out there. And I'll see you next time.